Hi, I'm Philip Curry and today we are making a sticky date and cardamom bun. With some brioche dough to which we're adding some cardamom that's been crushed with sugar, with a date puree and a sticky toffee glaze. There's a lovely technique for knotting these buns, so let's make it. So to prepare the date filling, we're just adding our dried dates with some warm hot water from the tap is fine. We're just going to blend them together. A NutriBullet works well for this. You just want to chop them up. Now that is a puree that is going to thicken up as the fruit absorbs some water. We're just going to set that aside. To make the butterscotch sauce, we're going to add all of our ingredients: the milk, the brown sugar, the cornstarch, sea salt into a saucepan, and we're just going to give them a whisk before we turn the heat on, just to make sure that the cornstarch has fully dissolved. So just using the whisk. Now we want to keep stirring this so it doesn't catch. I like using a silicone spatula, and we're just bringing it to a simmer, and the mixture is going to thicken. There we go, and then we switch it off and continue stirring. I'm just adding the coconut oil, and I'm going to whisk that in. To make our cardamom dough, we're just going to crush the seeds, which are actually inside the pod. You want to crack those open, otherwise you get a lot of like fibrous pulp in your cardamom. It's better to just crush the pod and tip out the seeds, because that's where all that mentholy and that super aromatic flavor comes from. And I'm just adding a tiny bit of sugar. So I'm just going to blend these in a spice grinder or a small NutriBullet. Now you can mix this into your dough when you make it, or if you're trying to simplify the writing of a recipe. We've got our classic brioche or vrioche, which I've prepared already. Check out my other video for that. And I'm just adding this lovely cardamom sugar. Oh, I mean, it smells like eucalyptus. And I'm just going to knead Alright, it is now time to roll out a lovely brioche dough. So it's nicely, we have our lovely soft and bulk fermented brioche dough. So it's had its chance to double in size. And now I'm going to roll it out to a nice long use a little bit of extra flour. Now brioche is quite a soft dough, and so I'm just going to flour it generously. So we want it to be about 20 centimeters. We want it to be about 20 centimeters wide and then about 50 centimeters long, because we're going to then fold it over this way. So just rolling it out nice and thin. Now remember, when you get an oval on the edge, leave a little bit of thickness on the end there, and then you can just roll it out. So just making sure that the dough is not stuck to the to our bench. I'm going to do the same thing again by just sprinkling some flour all the way across it. Flipping it again. There we go. So this just also relaxes it, releases it from the bench top, to make sure that we have the so it's not going to shrink back. Date filling that I prepared earlier, I'm going to spread it over half of our. I'm going to spread it over half. Then I'm going to fold this over going to just place a piece of parchment paper onto a tray and then gently transfer our dough onto the tray. And place this into the freezer for 40 minutes just to make it a bit easier to handle so we get a nice clean knot. Our dough is nicely frozen. I'm just going to we want to cut it in about 2.5 centimeter strips. So we want to give our strip a nice twist like that. And then we're just going to kind of wrap it around itself and tuck the end underneath like that, so we have a nice knot. Just twisting it around like that on itself and then tucking it underneath. If you have offcuts like this, you can just, it's getting a bit messy, cut it into the number of pieces of your rolls or buns, and then you can just tuck a little bit under each one, and it doesn't make a big difference, but you end up not having to throw away any offcut pieces of dough. So now I just need to leave enough space in between each bun because these need to double in size. So about 6 between each nice large baking tray. Placing a piece of plastic wrap loosely on top so they don't dry out. I'm going to let these proof until doubled in size, about an hour and a half, somewhere nice and warm. We can just use that glaze and quite generously brush it over our buns. I'm Philip Curry, and this is a new way to bake a sticky date and cardamom bun. I hope you love it as much as I do.